Welcome to this behind-the-scenes look at the final race of the year for the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. The Rockstar girls are ready to go. Are you?
1, 2, 3.
Good morning, Rockstar girls. You guys ready for the finale, huh? All right, there we go. 410, that was the gate for the flight out. Was that a sign to come in Pro 2? Would it be the 410M motor that would dominate the Unlimited motor like Jeremy McGrath did in Glen Helen? We shall find out. Stay with us in this video because we've got so much to see. We're going to talk to some of the great drivers that you can see on CBS Sports, and MAV TV. There's the General Brian Deegan. We're going to talk to him and we're going to see how his crew got off to a rough start, blowing up a motor and then suffering another engine failure in race number 1. We're also going to see the truck of Ronnie Anderson and Team Rockstar 1. You got to see to believe. This truck was broken in half. It was truly unbelievable. Thank goodness Ronnie was okay. Let's get started with a look around the pits. There's Kyle LeDuc's team wrenching way.
Out. Mr. Kyle LeDuc, unfortunately. They'll get it back together. And there's the living legend, Brent Smith. How you doing, Brent?
Good. How you doing, Jack?
You ready for a big weekend of off-road racing?
Sure. You?
Oh, man, I can't wait. We got championship battles coming to a fever pitch. What are you most looking forward to this weekend?
Just all the racing, all the battles, side-by-sides, Pro 2, Pro 4, Pro Lite race, and then that epic Challenge Cup is going to go over, like, very, very well. I mean, nighttime racing, that's what we look for. The trucks will look so much faster.
Whoa! Whoa! Are you okay? You're a wild man. I think you're doing better, though, than your dad's truck. What's going on with this thing?
I don't know.
Oh, man, let's take a look. Oh, my goodness. You are a wild man. I got a big question for you here.
What?
Is your dad going to win this weekend?
Depends about the car.
What do you think? If you had to guess right now, you think he's going to win it? Podium it?
I know podium.
Podium for sure?
If something didn't go wrong.
How about championship? He's still got a chance at that.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right.
So very honest. Well, let's take a look at what's going on in Brian Deegan's camp. This was after practice. Frustrating for this team. This is after they had problems in Glen Helen. They end up destroying a motor on day number 1. He's got a very talented, hard-working crew, though, that was determined to get things back together for the race.
I'm sorry about the luck over here, gentlemen. Everything okay?
Yeah, what'd you do? Did you come sabotage us?
I'm just sorry about it, man. How many hours of work do you think we got before we get back together?
4 or 5.
4 or 5?
3? I don't know. Oh, 3.
Excellent. Won't stop the general. Getting everything all cleaned up.
The rest of the guys working hard on the truck, and it's someone's job to make sure it stays clean.
That's an important job as well.
Oh yeah, so
Are you worried that the general's going to have no qualifying?
truck's fast no matter what it is, you know, so coming tomorrow morning for the race, I think we'll be all right, you know, starting in the back of the pack. It's just basically getting the mindset ready and have the truck ready and everything, you know, accounted for, and we're gonna go out there and obviously do the best we can and make some shit happen.
There you go. Good luck. Pieces of the block. Wow, it's not often you see pieces of the block on the ground like that.
Oh.
What happened here?
So we've run the same motor all season, so some would call it bad luck, I would call it bad luck. I just say we pushed our luck.
There you go. Get the bad luck out of the way now, right?
Yeah. I always say you can't have both. You can't have a good race day and a good practice day, right?
Good
So
point.
I'd rather have a bad practice day.
Good point.
See how it goes.
So close. Yeah, Brian's got a hard-working social media crew as well you can check out on the Deegan 38 channel.
in the pit of the General, the 38, Brian Deegan. Brian, we might have some bad voodoo here we got to wipe off, because I was coming over to ask you what happened last race, and now we got an update with this race. What's going on?
Just got here to Arizona and went out and practiced. 2 laps in, the piston broke, I think, in the motor. And, you know, we've been trying to make a motor last all year, just the way it goes. And piston busted, and I think parts went through the pan. Luckily, I don't think it went through the block, so that's a little better. But first time they're having qualifying on practice day is today, so I'm going to miss qualifying. And then I got to start the race tomorrow from behind, which it is what it is. I can't change that, so I'm just going to have to go for it.
Do you think your aggressiveness and how you've been great at working your way up through the back of the pack, will that benefit you tomorrow?
Yeah, I think there's only one way, you know, only one way to race tomorrow. It's going to have to be all or nothing. And just like I did last time here, I just moved through the pack and I didn't wait. If you're there, I just did the bump and run on people, and it is what it is. Like, so we'll see. I mean, you got to be smart too, because everyone, I mean, people don't only going to take so much. Last race, so a lot of people are going to be swinging, you know, and going for it. A lot of people want to win. A lot of people haven't got on the podium this year, so there's a lot of goals I'm sure everyone has. But for me, I would like to win a race. You know, I won here I think last time and won the Cup race. So we got to get rolling, you know. We're starting a little slow here, but got to get it going, you know.
Take me back to Glen Helen. You were flying. Unfortunately, a rare DNF for you. What happened?
Yeah, Glen Helen, we had started the main event and started going pretty good, and then the power shut off. I went down to turn the power on off because it was glitching, and the power switch came apart. It's just a plastic toggle switch that come out of a boat, basically, and it fell apart. And it was really something I probably should have caught, you know, earlier in the day. We were shutting the truck on an awful lot during the day. And of course, you know, when we needed it, it fell apart. But I've had a pretty, you know, I can't say I have a good season, you know, but that's part of winning championships, you know. You got to be, like, you can't make mistakes, especially when there's not a lot of races, points races. You got to make everyone count. And but, hey, we've had a good year, and we were in the championship hunt there for a while. And then, you know, there's always next year.
You know how racing goes up and down. Do you feel like maybe after all this adversity, all this bad luck, tomorrow you're due? You're due for something good to happen.
Yeah, I think tomorrow I'll do the best I can do, you know. I'll go out there and drive as hard as I can drive, leave nothing on the table, and you know, we'll see where it ends up. You know, that's all I can do. All I can do is do my best, and you know, we'll see how it falls from there, you know.
It looks like you got one heck of a talented crew over here. What can you say about the effort these guys are putting forth right now, rebuilding?
Yeah, I think everyone here, you know, and everyone works hard and off-road, and I think, you know, our team has done really well. We've you know, had a solid year. Every race we're there. Every race we're in the top 5. We just had some weird things happen though, right when we needed it the most, you know. So I mean, the guys will fix the truck. The main thing is doing it right, because a lot of metal got sucked through the oil lines, and you have to clean it all right. Otherwise, a little piece of metal could ruin your next motor. So we got to make sure they take their time. We could rush and try to make qualifying, but I'd rather not risk another motor. These things are really expensive, the motors, so I don't want to risk that. And do it right, we'll be fine. You know, I can come from the back to the front. I've done it before, and we're just gonna have to be smart and be aggressive, you know?
That's a sound strategy. Patience may pay off here. Are you thinking championship at all? You come in third, stranger things have happened?
I haven't even looked at the points, to be honest, but if we have a shot at it, yeah, I mean, anything could happen, right? I mean, the leaders could crash, and, you know, Amputia's motor blew up, and, you know, and Brooks, he's had a pretty good year, you know. I mean, stuff does happen, but at the end, hey, it's racing. They could do great, they could win, they could break, who knows. In the end, we just have to have a chance at it, which I think we might. I need to look at the points and see if we even have a shot, but I think it's a 50-point margin that you have to be within. So if we're within 50 points, I think there's a chance we could win, and there's a lot of trucks out there. That's the thing. So I'm always worried when I'm leading the points and there's a lot of trucks, because a bad day is a big points gap. And, you know, when I had my bad day, there's a lot of trucks, you know, it's a lot of points. So, but once again, there's a lot of points here for grabs this weekend. So if stuff goes bad for them, there is a chance, you know.
Is it exciting to you to be able to duke it out in the Challenge Cup? You look forward to that all year?
Yeah, you know, the Challenge Cup's cool for me. You know, I've won it a few times. I don't know, a lot of guys can say that. There's two ways to look about it. All or nothing, or be smart. And last year, I went for it, and things went my way in the end, so it's all good.
Excellent.
Take it however you can get it.
It could be a good weekend for the family. You got Haley racing this weekend, right?
Yeah, Haley's up in Kern. Haley's up in Kern racing stock cars, K&N West. So I'm going to keep tabs on her, practice today, race tomorrow. And then I brought Hudson with me. so he could race karts, and this is where Haley learned to race, you know, so I want Hudson to learn too, and I don't want to leave the, you know, third child gets left out a lot, you know, and this time I want Hudson to learn, you know, I want him to learn how to race, and I feel like I got to take some time to teach him, and that's why I brought him with me, and he's funny. I like hanging out with him, so it's kind of a father-son weekend.
We were already talking to him. We asked him if you were going to win. He said he's not sure.
He's too honest.
But he said you're definitely going to get on the podium.
Yeah, he's too honest. That's a problem, yeah. But yeah, if you want some good interviews, you got to interview Hudson for sure.
I love it. Final thing, any off-season plans? Anything going on? Switch to the 410 maybe?
Yeah, off-season, probably go to the 410s is the plan. But overall, focus with Haley's racing, you know, getting all her deals. There's a lot going on with her sponsorships and her where she's going to race, what races, a lot of options, you know. And then Hayden and Hudson's motocross is very busy. Off-season, we go to Florida to race. So there's really no off-season for me, man. Like, you know.
I noticed that earlier in the year, you and I were talking about how Haley's so popular, if not the most popular in NASCAR, right?
She's one of the most popular drivers.
And that's continuing to grow. I mean, that pressure's got to be crazy.
Yeah.
As a father, is it concerning you at all? I see guys are showing up with roses and pictures, and you're like, hey, man, she's turned 18. Come on.
It's hard, you know. I'll just be honest. Being a dad, hard enough, right? Okay, then you add in fame, money, popularity, good and bad things. I mean, it's hard raising a daughter, you know, and then you raise her in the spotlight. It's not easy, you know, and you try to keep her grounded and try to show what's really real and what's not. And it's definitely, you know, raising a family at a racetrack is fun because you're a family atmosphere, but she's such on a level of, like, you know, doing things that have never been done and getting all this attention. It's definitely had its tough days for sure, you know, but overall I wouldn't give it up because we've had so many good days, you know.
Amen.
So it's all good.
And I think her biggest advantage is you've been there, done that, versus a dad who doesn't know what she's getting into. So I think, you know, the plan you laid out that we talked about before, it sounds like she's got a great plan and a great future. So.
Oh, yeah. You know, like you always say, like, listen to dad, but remember when you're 18, right?
That's right. That's right. Well, good luck this weekend, man. We hope you guys get this fixed and get on the podium.
Cool, man.
Yeah, same with the header and everything else.
Yeah, the carbonator up there. Yeah.
What's the most difficult part when you get into something like this?
Getting on the same page with everybody else.
Okay.
I'd say.
Are you, who's calling the shots over here in terms of directing the crew, or is it a group effort?
It's a group effort, but it trickles down from Paul, who's the team lead,
Absolutely.
down to Darren, who's the crew chief, down to me, who's his main bitch, first helper.
There you go.
And then we have Dan, who's the crew chief of Haley's truck. I'm a
glorified
bolt pusher. An all-around aficionado.
There you go. Oh, so you're with Haley's truck. Excellent.
Yeah.
You were in Glen Helen, right? Because you were with Haley.
No, Haley wasn't at Glen Helen. Last time Haley raced was in Crandon.
Excellent. Now you opted not to go with Haley this weekend?
We don't deal with her NASCAR stuff.
Got you.
We're just the off-road truck program.
No doubt. Well, good luck putting this back together, boys.
He's my supervisor.
I supervise him.
Bad things happen when I'm left unsupervised.
There you go.
And I was left unsupervised. He was in charge of oil, obviously.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Wow. So that's a $94,000 POW, you said?
In the end, that's a $94,000.
$94,001.
$94,000 Audi.
Here with championship contender in Pro 2, the one and only Jarrett Brooks. Jarrett, how you doing?
Pretty good. We're out here at Arizona and getting practice underway. We have a fast track here, and this track, I don't think it's ever been this fast. It was so hooked up when we were out there. The truck, this truck mostly doesn't three-wheel, and it was hooked up. It was three-wheeling, so pretty cool.
Explain that to me for those who may not know.
Yeah. So this track here, we're in Arizona. It's windy. And to have a good track, not a blue grip track, and have a traction in a track that's in Arizona, it's kind of unheard of with all the trucks that run here. You got Pro Lite, Pro 2, Pro 4, Pro Buggy, Razors, UTVs, all the classes. It's cool, especially the more hooked up the track is, the more lines there is, the better passing, better racing. So that's cool.
Excellent. What's going to be the key to winning here?
Key to winning.
These 410s are going to be tough, right? Who do you think's got the advantage, the 410s or you, and what's the key?
I'd say the key to winning is just kind of it's up to Lucas on what kind of gap they put for the 410 versus the big motor. There's no real way to put it, and that's kind of the downfall it's been to this year. There's no legit way to do this, to do the Pro 2 M motor and the big motor gap, but it's the last race of the year. We're 5 points behind Empudia, which is in a slow motor. I don't know, it just kind of depends on the gap, how fast I can get through the field, and we'll see. It's gonna be a fun day at racing tomorrow. We race at 2 o'clock for the points race, and then at night we race against the Pro 4s, so it's gonna be pretty cool.
Are you gonna change anything from a strategy standpoint? Are you gonna be more aggressive? Is there gonna be any different setup, or is this just business as usual, just another race?
I'd say just go for broke. This kind of whole year has been a good year for me because I was kind of on the breaking point of if I was in a race or not. This year was my breaking point.
And why was that?
Just because, you know, after winning Pro Lite championships, coming into Pro 2, last 2 years in Pro 2, I just kind of struggled a lot, didn't have a setup, and then really got a good setup in it, and setup made the whole world difference. So came in and had a setup, and I've been fast all year. I think every time we hit the track this year, we've been half a second faster than every Pro 2 on the course, so that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a confidence booster, but then again, what does that help when you got the 410s that have a 30-second to 15-second gap every race? So that's just kind of what it's come down to, but it's cool. Having a fast truck's always cool, and being comfortable is even better.
Well, I'm glad you stuck around. You are a 3-time Pro Lite champ, right?
Yeah, 3 Lite.
This is year number 3 in Pro 2.
Yes.
I mean, to win a championship after thinking about walking away, what would that mean to you?
It'd be pretty cool. I mean, Pro 2 championship's always been the dream, and that's gonna be my dream until I get it. I'm gonna stay in this fast until I get a Pro 2 championship. So we'll see next year. Next year is gonna be a whole different curveball. Everyone's gonna have that 410 motor. So we'll see who the big players are next year, and everyone has a fair shot at the championship.
Well, good luck to you. Some quick stats. How old are you?
22.
22. You're a young man. How long you been racing?
Been racing since I was probably 10 years old.
10 years old. Started in what?
Started in the Junior 1 trophy carts back in the core Chula Vista days was my first race. So.
Where are you from?
San Diego, Alpine, California.
And I noticed you had a visitor on the podium last time. How old's your son?
My little guy, little Roxon, he's 6 months now. So, man, that's a cool thing too, coming into this year. Having a baby on the way, kind of a lot of pressure. I mean, kind of was on the breaking point of racing again this year and having a baby, getting a house, moving out. I'm still a mama's boy too. So
how about that? Well, I'm sure she'd be proud of a championship, huh?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Good luck, man. Anything you want to add?
I think that'll be it. I want to add big thanks to Rigid Industries, General Tire, KMC, Bill Stein, and you know, it's been a hell of a year. And thanks to those guys, they've supported me from day one. So thank you guys.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Absolutely no rest for Pro 4 superstar Doug Mittag. He's getting ready. We got the cheering section here. What do you guys think? Doug gonna win it this weekend? Yeah. Doug, what we're talking about is you just switched to fuel injection before Glen Helen. Update me on how that's going with your Pro 4.
Yeah, it's a huge change for us, the whole team. Just a whole different engine tuning package and stuff like that. So it usually is a big struggle to switch over, but James Lynn helped us out huge. He's top notch when it comes to tuning trucks, and in our sport, he's the guy you want to have working on your stuff. So we got him on board, and he came to Glen Helen. We did a test day, got the thing dialed in, and actually found some speed with the new injection. So that's huge for us. It's got some stuff that, you know, I don't want to tell everybody, but it's a big advantage that we were missing out on before. So we should be fast here today.
I love it. How has that changed things as a driver? What's the truck feel like now it has fuel injection?
Billy with Pro Power always had our carburetors pretty dialed, so we never really dealt with bobbling or anything like that, or dealing with tuning mistuned truck. But one of the biggest things is the shifting. James Lynn helped me with. It's got like an interrupt system now. Some of the other guys have it, but I think James has got a different program that really helps you. And yeah, I mean, mostly takes a lot of thinking out for me. So I'm just driving and grabbing gears. I'm not worried about blowing up the transmission and stuff like that.
Has it given your crew any curveballs at all, trying to wrench on this thing now it's got fuel injection?
It's a lot more wires, a lot more wiring, some more computer, and detailed setup as far as engine goes, but besides that, no big deal for us, DM81 team.
You think that's the way the whole class is going to go eventually?
Yeah, they actually made a rule where it was mandatory by the end of this year, so
Okay.
so that's I think where everybody's headed, and we got the best guys behind us to help us out with it.
I love it. How old are you finally?
I am 25.
From
Temecula, California.
biggest hobby outside of racing?
I grew up going to the desert and to the river, so I stay true to that, and I still go to the river and take my boat out when I can during the summer, and during the winter I get my buddies, we go out with our razors and have a good time, and just anything that has to do with the steering wheel mostly.
And on Instagram, you tubed all the way through your front yard when the big torrential rains came, right?
Every once in a while, I guess we have some roaring rapids going through our front yard, so I took advantage of it, got in an inner tube, and went for a little ride.
Good luck this weekend.
All right, thank you.
What do you think, guys? You got this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We are here with the mod kart point leader, Mr. Mason Prater. How you feeling, Mason?
I'm feeling great. I mean, I'm really excited about this weekend, and I can't wait to get out there tomorrow race.
How old are you, Mason?
I'm 14 years old, and I turn 15 about halfway through next season.
Excellent. Okay. This is a hometown race for you. How many friends and family do you have here?
Ooh, it's too many to count. I have a bunch of friends coming out from school and from my previous schools, and just a bunch of race friends out here, and a bunch of family from all across the country come out and support me.
What grade are you in?
I'm in 9th grade.
Very cool. Okay. What do you think about this year? What has made it so dominant? What has made you so successful this year?
I think this year it's been a really good year, just thanks to our consistency and the whole entire team really getting to know each other better and working really well together.
When did you start racing?
I started racing way back when I was about 5 years old. I got into a outlaw car, which is it was like a hyped up Junior 2, and it was just all a bunch of friends out there, and the racing was so much different back then. It was not a lot of rules. It was just a lot of fun out there.
That's very cool. What are your biggest interests outside of racing?
Oh, I love football. I used to play tackle, but I mean, racing I got way more into racing than I ever was into football, so it took a turn on that. But I still love playing football with my friends and just hanging out with other friends. And also, I love going go-karting.
That's awesome, man. Tell me what it's been like. I know the field is very, very tough. You've had some tight races at times. What's it been like this year when you look back on a whole?
Oh, this year it's been crazy. I mean, we've ran out front for a couple races, and we've gotten a couple wins here and there. But we mainly just stayed consistent. There's a lot of really fast drivers, so you never know. Some races, someone could get an 8th or a 9th, and the next race they could be running up right next to you.
Perfect. And what town are you from exactly?
I'm from Chandler, Arizona.
Oh, you're Chandler. Okay, Chandler. Perfect. Last question I have for you. Right now, if I asked you, what's your dream? How far would you like to go in this sport? What's the goal?
My goal is to really get into Baja racing and all like the open track and all that stuff, or really just to get into any sort of big formal racing to get my name out there and get a bunch of sponsors and just become a successful race car driver who will be remembered for a while.
That's awesome. So you would like to do desert maybe more than short course?
I can't really say which one I'd prefer more since I haven't gotten into any of the bigger classes yet, because who knows, maybe I'll fall in love with some of the class 1s, or who knows, maybe I'll fall in love with the Pro 4 out here. So, but it's whatever I can get into, I'll drive.
Would you like to try a Pro 4?
Oh, I would love it. It'd be a dream come true.
You think any of these guys would let you take one for a lap?
Maybe not yet. Maybe when I hit 16.
When you get the driver's license, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anything you'd like to add about your program or anything else I should know?
Oh, I mean, this program's just, it's really special. I mean, we've raced for a while, and to see this program really come from just a ground-up team with me, my mom, my dad, and my sister, to now running up front and class that I've been dreaming of for years, it's really amazing.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Like a tire guy for a semi, you know what I mean? Yeah. To help out, and I texted back.
You're looking at the Pro Buggy that could win a championship this year, Mr. Elliott Watson. The last 3 years, 2nd place in the points. So close, so competitive, but you've been the bridesmaid. You come in here now tied for the lead. What's the feeling like with another opportunity to seal the deal and win this thing?
It's pretty crazy. I mean, this whole year we've been running points lead for the majority of the year, and come in tied. Chris had a really good run at Glen Helen, and we kind of struggled a bit, so he caught up, tied up the gap, and it's been different, a lot of different pressure this year. I've been racing against Darren Hardesty, a lot of other guys the last few years, and now then out of the class, it's just me and Chris, so that's for the point side. But I know the car's feeling great this weekend. We were trying to keep it stress-free. We've been going out and have some fun with the team last few weeks, and just team morale is high right now. We're all stoked. We're all excited to be here, so couldn't be happier.
So you guys did some testing in between?
We did. We didn't do
Top secret?
some stuff going on for next year actually. So Buggy, we really didn't do any testing, but we had a lot of ideas even thrown around the table last couple of years actually. We never got around to trying them, and they're on there for this weekend. Car is dialed. We were as fast as last practice, and gonna have to qualify now. And I'm pretty excited. My dad raced 12 cars back in the day when I was growing up. And
Go-karts?
12 cars out in the desert. Yep.
Okay.
So
what was it? What'd you say one more time?
Class 12.
Class 12.
Yep,
Okay.
So basically, this Buggy, but this is a little bit modified for the desert and all on different front end geometry and a couple little things. But he ran this paint job this whole time. He won 4 championships on it. So
this is the same Buggy he ran in the desert.
It's the same paint job.
Same paint job, not same vehicle.
No,
right?
no. So
you brought back your dad's good luck 4-time championship paint job.
Hope they can rise with a little luck this weekend, right?
All right, here's a big question I have for you. You've been there, done that, right? 3 times, second place. Does that keep the pressure down, knowing what to expect, or the fact that you're so close to a title, does that make the pressure even more intense?
It goes both ways. Like honestly, like Chris, hasn't really been in contention for a Pro Buggy championship before, and I've been here a few times, and I have that mental confidence, I think you could say, because I've been in a situation before, but I feel like I put a lot more pressure on myself just because I'm a veteran of the class in that aspect also. So it's tough. It's a tough field, and there's a lot of good guys out there, and they're not going to make it easy for us. And I'm just excited to be where we're at.
Can't wait to see it. How old are you again?
I'm 19.
Out of?
Where
are you from?
Oh, El Centro, California.
El Centro, there we go.
Yep, grew up in the desert down there.
I love it, man. Anything else you'd like to add about this weekend?
Just gonna go out and have some fun, racing the Turbo UTD also, and excited to be racing the prep race, getting some production 1000 class there, and see what we can go do. Got some fun.
Good luck to you.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Brock Heger, Pro Lite, hands on. Look at this, doing the dirty work yourself. You got the pressure washer off. Man, it's a big weekend. You better have a clean truck this weekend because you're second, trying to chase down Beat. How you feeling coming in?
I'm feeling good. I mean, you missed the part of the video where I was having some malfunctions with the pressure washer, but it's beside the point. But I'm feeling good. We've the first 2 rounds we DNF, so we've been chasing this thing all year, and we kind of really haven't been looking at the points. It's just been more of let's go out there, try to win some races, and when it comes down to the end, see where we end up. And we're here at the last round, and we're sitting in second. I believe we're 10 points out, so it's it's pretty exciting given the fact of my first 2 rounds having 2 DNFs, not even finishing. So it's it's kind of cool to be in that situation, and we're just gonna do our normal thing. We're gonna go out there and try to win the race, and if it plays in our favor, then I'm sure we'll be pretty stoked.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were leading here in Arizona earlier in the year, and it was a drive shaft failure?
Yeah, it was round 2. We were here in Arizona and made the pass for the lead, went about 2 more turns and broke a drive shaft and went through the radiator and all that fun stuff. So that ended our day there. But we had a fast truck here last time we were here, and we were trying some setup that we haven't really ran in a while here, and we just got done with one of the practices and we're getting ready to go out to qualify. So we changed it back to the normal setup, and we're just gonna see how she goes.
Perfect. So you got to know, if you didn't DNF, you would have a nice sizable points lead. Is that tough to swallow?
Yeah. I mean, at this stage of the game, it's you got to finish. You got to finish top 5 every round. Everyone's so consistent. There's so many drivers that can get this. So I knew once I had the 1 DNF, I was like, okay, maybe I can work with that. I had the second one. I'm like, no way. And then every race we're like, oh, we moved up, another spot. So we're like, oh, that's kind of surprising. Yeah.
How many wins on the year? Do you know?
On this year?
Yeah.
3.
3.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so you come in here to the final race. Despite those 2 DNFs, you still got a chance at the championship and a chance to wipe all that away. How special would that be for you if you were able to still win the championship despite 2 DNFs?
No, I would be beyond stoked. I've never won a Pro Lite championship over here. I won 2 of them in the regional, but I've never won one here. Well, last year, out of the gate again, I had a DNF, so that kind of set that last year on hold, which was a bummer. The year before, me and Jarrett Brooks, we went at it all year long, and I had a tire failure, 2 more rounds to go, and he ended up beating me by, I believe, 5 points. So I've had some problems that stopped me from getting it. So hopefully this weekend it goes good and I get it, and I'll probably try to do something cool off the side of the truck, maybe a backflip or something. But I would be pretty pumped. And you know, going into next year, we're hoping to start off a little better. You know, we've had some rough starts, which it's kind of set us back a little bit, but we're not going to give up.
What was your finish last year in Pro Lite points?
I believe third.
Third in Pro Lite points.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
excellent. And how old are you again, Brock?
19.
19 from
El Centro, California.
El Centro, California. And
Desert.
overall, how many championships in your career?
Probably 8 to 9 around there. So it's been all right. You know, it's been fun. This series is fun. You know, I race the desert stuff. I have 3 championships over there, so it's pretty fun. And hopefully we can get this one, and hopefully the Yamaha one. I know we're super close, and you know, if I got that, that means I raced 3 series or 3 classes this year, and that would be 3 championships. So that would be really cool. But you know, it's one step at a time. We're gonna get ready to go out here to the qualifying right now, and see where we end up.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Last thing I got to ask you too about the desert race. That helped keep you fresh. You were just in the seat, Laughlin, Nevada, and
yeah, it's I mean, they're different stuff, but you know, all around it's just all track time, so it's kind of.
And the finish
cool.
there was at Laughlin. Refresh my memory.
I got second.
Second.
I had a transmission problem, and then caught some dust, and I was it was the last lap. I was leading all day Sunday, and then caught some dust, and I was just like, you know, I got to finish. Just had like a mile to go, and the championship was right there, so I just played it cool and brought in. I think I ended up losing it by like 10 seconds or something. So
how cool would it be to, you know, you won the Best in Desert Champion, to win both of them here? I mean,
no, it'd be super cool. There's been 2017 was my last time that I've been really close to doing it. That was my first year in desert in the 10 car, and I won that one, won the UTV, and you know, I screwed it up in the Pro Lights. So we're just gonna go out there and see what we can do, and you know, let it play out.
And the Triple Crown would just be ridiculous, right? If you could leave here with 2 championships out of here, 1 in Best in the Desert.
Yeah, no, it would, you know, it'd be super cool. All these guys work their butts off, so it's my way of repaying them, and I don't know, we're just gonna see how it goes, and you know, hope for the best.
What's your ultimate goal in racing? Where do you want to? What class do you want to be in? What series do you want to be in?
I want to stay in off-road, desert, short course, anything like that, and you know, I just want to be a well-known driver. I want to
Pro 2, Pro 4, maybe.
Maybe, you know, I just want to show up, and everyone's just like, oh, there's Brock, you know, and you know, kind of like how we do when, you know, Rob Mack and you know, the Deegans and all them, you know, all these fans show up, and that's their go-to. They want to go see those guys, and you know, Jeremy, he parked with me at Glen Helen, and you know, all these people come over for, you know, to come see him and stuff. So I want to be something like that, and you know, just be super well known to my fans and stuff.
Good luck, bud.
Thank you.
Mr. Robert Stout, very sorry. I was coming over here to get some information for the spotlight. You flipped it. Thank goodness you're okay.
Yeah.
It's a championship weekend for you. Bring me up to speed on what's going on.
Yeah, we've got a great car, and practice 1 to practice 2 is a little different track conditions, and good in a good way. You know, the track really dried out, and it came to us. Our lap times got a lot better, and turned a great first lap. But the second lap, I just drove it in a little harder than I needed to for a turn that was getting pretty rutted up. So just trying to figure out where the limit is, and that's what practice is for. But unfortunately, today is the only day where we qualify the same day as practice. So, of course, of all times to do it this year, we're in a little bit of a thrash. But these guys are good. Everybody from Yaw Power Suspension to the Magic Drives Orbit team, they're great. They're the best in the class. So they'll get this thing fixed up. We should be able to go qualify and hopefully steal a spot at the front of the pack.
Describe the damage for me. What are we worried about right now? I see we got some bent and broken pieces.
Yeah, steering rack, front control arms. I mean, honestly, considering going over a few times, we really didn't tear up too much stuff. So we had the parts ready to go in the trailer. We just need to make sure we get the front end generally pointed the correct direction. And once we do that, we should be good to go.
I see there's a little bit of body damage. That's not really concerning off-road, is it?
Yeah, just cosmetic. You're going to get that no matter what out here sooner or later, right? So don't have to worry too much about the body. We'll make sure it gets prettied up for tomorrow's race.
Excellent. How old are you?
27.
How many championships total in your career? All
championships?
All forms of motorsports.
Well, I've had two national and two regionals, 2 or 3 regionals, and a pro championship, all from the sports car racing side of things. No national championships in off-road. It's only my second year, so we'll see if we can hold on this weekend and maybe grab my first one.
In only your second year, to be right there with somebody like Brock Heger, how special is that for you?
Yeah, it is awesome, and Brock's the real deal for sure, and you see it in all the classes that he runs, whether it's desert or pro light, and of course down here with us and Miles Cheek, and there's some good guys out here, so it's cool to be in the mix with them and having some fun racing with these guys, and right now being the current points leader, is a good feeling, but it's not over, and it's still a close battle.
Tell me about what your pavement track experience this year has been like, and if that's helped you.
Yeah, I think the pavement stuff absolutely helps. I mean, what I've been racing the past couple years in sports cars is a complete momentum class. So it really teaches you how to roll at good speed, to minimize mistakes, and it's been really beneficial carrying that over. You know, these cars in production 1000, it's not like a Pro 4 where you have 900 horsepower to help you out. So there's something to being able to roll a good amount of momentum through the center of the turn, try to keep that mid-corner speed up, and hopefully create a higher top end.
Excellent. Last question. Biggest hobby outside of racing?
Probably mountain biking. It's a new hobby, but love it. Being down in Southern California now, there's plenty of good spots to go ride.
Oh, you moved?
Yeah. I was in Arizona. I was in Indianapolis, Arizona. Now over to SoCal. So
welcome to SoCal.
Really enjoy it, and I also think it benefits me a little bit from a dirt standpoint, right? Learning that and doing anything I can to learn as much as possible about dirt racing and how it all acts.
And you probably do need a little cardio to be in there in the driver's seat, right? I mean,
oh yeah, I mean these things, even though they're short sprint races, it's by no means a cruise. So you're working pretty hard on every end of it, and the cars are throwing you around pretty good. So it's not easy. You want to be physically on top of your game to stay as focused as you can throughout these races.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
And only Ronnie Anderson. Turbo UTV Championship weekend. Corey Weller has been tough to beat, but you just scored a huge victory. You just out-qualified her, and now we have the points margin at what?
Yep, now the points margin is at 9 points. We came in 11 out. We made up 2 points in qualifying, so we pulled a 0. Luckily for the inversion, we're starting pole, she's starting third, so hopefully we could pull it together, and if we get on the top step, that's all we could do, and hopefully the rest will work itself out from there.
What would it mean to you to win your first Lucas Oil Off-Road Championship?
It'd be so epic to win the Turbo UTV Championship here at Lucas Oil Off-Road. I mean, the guys worked so hard here at RJ37 Off-Road, so it'd be awesome to give them a championship to bring back home.
What was your key to qualifying out front? How do you think you were able to outlast Weller out there?
Yeah, we started right behind Corey, and we just kind of pressured her a little bit off the beginning. Played a little bit of games, 3 laps, so a real sprint, and ended up pushing her into a little mistake, got by, and ended up getting a fast lap there on lap 2. So super excited with that, and looking forward to the race and the Challenge Cup.
It's funny you bring that up, because last race you told me you can pressure Corey to making mistakes. Now she might be hoping the same for you since you're starting out front. What do you think when you got somebody in your rearview mirror?
Yeah, it's definitely something you always think about, just because she is fast and she can be out there all the time. So it's definitely going to be a good last race with me and Corey. So may the best person win.
Perfect. How old are you again?
19 years old.
Big competitive rivalry between you and your brother at all?
Oh yeah, we get competitive. I actually lost a bet in Crandon, and I had to get a mullet.
Oh, how about that?
So yeah, I've been rocking
what kind of bet?
Now.
What was the bet?
It was just so if he placed in the Cup race at Crandon, then I would get a mullet. So
okay,
and he did. So
yeah, how about that? Well, wish you the best of luck. What's going to be the key to winning on this track?
Just stay smart and consistent. Make sure in the slick that you drive smart and don't spin out, and in the dry, when the track starts to come in, just keep it together and put down some solid laps.
Good luck.
Thank you.
That brought us to race day at Wild Horse Motorsports Park in Chandler, Arizona, not too far from Phoenix. It was a packed house up in the stands, and these drivers put on a great show. Again, you'll be able to see this action on TV when it comes to CBS Sports, and MAV TV. The race was live streamed on lucasoilracing.tv. Make sure you check that out and subscribe to that network. So much going on over there. A lot of the drivers saying just how fast this track was. There were multiple lines. It was not a one-line blue groove track, that's for sure. How about Kyle LeDuc? He had a great weekend. There's Team RJ37 and Greg Adler all up on the podium for the Pro 4 race. That brought us to the Pro 2 race. Always competitive, always wild, where Team Deegan 38 was hoping that their handiwork would pay off and they'd put their mechanical problems behind them. But oh no! Big smoke coming out of Brian Deegan's truck. Frustrating. And Deegan into the pits. Oh, devastating for this team. Got to give Brian Deegan a lot of credit for keeping his cool. There was carnage all over the place. But Brian would return for the nighttime Challenge Cup.
Hey guys, congratulations. Brian thought he was done for the night. How'd you get it back out?
We were fortunate not to blow a motor, just a train.
Just transmission. Congratulations. Brian thought you guys were done, and you're not.
Yeah, that was a relief, wasn't it?
It sure was, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
You think Brian can win this thing?
I think there's a very good chance. He seems happy, he seems comfortable. You know, it seems what happened to everybody else. That's a big part of it.
Good luck, boys.
Thank you.
Team Doug Mittag was hoping that Doug could win the big Challenge Cup nighttime race. Look at this packed house.
What do you think? Doug got this?
I think he's got it, dude. He's feeling it.
We saw some truly wild and unbelievable racing in this very special all-star race. Pro 2 and Pro 4 trucks all out on the track at the same time. It was wild. This is just a small taste. Watch that jump right there, because that is a jump where Ronnie Anderson in his brother's truck, RJ Anderson's truck, had one of the biggest crashes that we've seen all season. It was right there on the landing of that huge jump. And you'll never believe this, guys. Guess who contacted him by accident? His own brother, RJ Anderson. RJ was very upset about that. We all were, until fortunately, thankfully, we found out that Ronnie was okay. Plenty of cautions in this race. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. There was what was left after Ronnie Anderson's crash. Everybody was very concerned, very worried. It was the time to say prayers. That was a nasty, vicious crash. Again, you can see it on lucasoilracing.tv. It'll be coming up on CBS. Take a look at the aftermath. When it was all said and done, the night belonged to the great Kyle LeDuc, who got his 99th win and a Pro 4 championship. Appropriately, he's number 99, so it was very special to see the 99 get that 99th victory. What a night it was. Chandler, Arizona, the Geico Off-Road Championships presented by General Tire. It was a truly special show. This track was awesome. Big hats off to the track builders and the entire staff at Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing. Again, guys, make sure you check this great series out online. They've already got a schedule out for 2020. A lot of exciting things happening. It's going to be another awesome season. And as I said, you can catch all the action when it comes to your TV. Check your listings. All the listings are there on lucasoiloffroadracing.com. Make sure you check it out, guys. We had a great time hanging out with the Geico. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to Cycle Drag here on YouTube. Make sure you're locked in. You'll never know what type of motorsport we'll be covering. Make sure you're subscribed to Cycle Drag.